It is a beautiful day for baseball. If your definition of beauty is an ominous, mostly cloudy skies with some precipitation possible a little bit later on, it is the 8-1 Jamestown Tarp Skunks taking on the 4-2 Batavia Muckdogs. Hello again and welcome to another broadcast of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball. I'm Dre Guinness alongside Jalen Ferguson. And Jalen, this has been one heck of a ride for the Tarp Skunks in their first 9 games of the season.
It has been one heck of a ride. The Tarp Skunks, they look to continue on this 6-game winning streak as they lead the conference with a record of 8-1. That is pretty impressive with 8 wins and only 1 loss.
Yeah, one of those wins coming here in Batavia last week as the Jamestown Tarp Skunks in 10 innings defeated the Batavia Muckdogs to actually kick off a 4-game road trip that the Tarp Skunks were very successful on. That success continuing at home, and tonight, you know, it's going to be a tough challenge, I think, for Batavia and for Jamestown. For the Tarp Skunks, you know, you have to kind of put out of your mind that, you know, you've been successful up to this point. Batavia is one of the toughest teams in the league and historically has always played the the Jamestown Tarp Skunks extremely tough, as we saw last Wednesday. What do you think they need to do to, you know, put that out of their head and just focus on tonight's game?
Well, I think they know that Batavia is going to be tough. Last game, they didn't make that win easy going into extra innings. But today, again, the free passes, that is something that they're going to have to buckle down on. Limit the amount of base runners, and again, just do what the Tarp Skunks been doing. Just jumping on them early in the first 3 innings. Just do that, get on base, get some hits, and bring runners across to score. Just jump on them early.
I think one of the things they also have to be concerned about is, you know, not allowing the big inning. We've seen it a couple of times where the Tarp Skunks will put up 8, 9, 10 batters in an inning, and all of a sudden they're giving up the same thing. They need to be able to just kind of knock that down a little bit with their pitching, and I expect to see that as these pitchers are starting to grow. We're starting to see some of these pitchers developing specific roles. The starting pitching is starting to become defined. Middle relief is starting to become a little bit more defined, although there are some pieces that can't be moved in and out. The closer spot almost seems to be locked down, as Chase Barron had picked up his 2nd save of the season yesterday, 1-0 record, 2nd save, gave up his first run of the season, but through no fault of his own, just a hit that went to no man's land.
Yeah, that's right. Chase Barron getting the save in 2 innings. I mean, like you said, they almost got it locked down. I think they're starting to rely on him to get the close. Bryant got the close a couple nights ago. And McLean, you talked about the starting pitching. McLean, he's been called to the mound a couple times to start out the season. So I think they're starting to get their bullpen situation locked down, and that is what you want to see out of the Tarp Skunks.
Yeah, last night I had mentioned that I thought it was Joe Man Santos in relief, actually Jack Santee, so I want to apologize to him for that. We're going to step away for the national anthem. We'll have the starting lineups after this.
Welcome Perry's Select Choir to the field as they will be performing tonight's national anthem led by Megan Privatera.
National anthem done, and we are almost set for baseball here from Dwyer Stadium in Batavia, New York. Let's take a look at the Jamestown Tarp Skunks starting lineup. Leading off in center field is Grant Moore. CJ Dugan will bat second in right field. Eric Weeks will be the second baseman, batting third. Third baseman Blake Herman bats fourth. Paul Delanto behind the dish will bat fifth. Justin Bremner, the designated hitter, bats sixth. JRC bats seventh and plays first base. The extra hitter, Branston Lindquist, will bat eighth. Matthew Dumas bats ninth in left field. And Tito Kiefer will be the starting shortstop, batting 10th. They will face, for the Batavia Muckdogs, Matt Marsh. His second start, second appearance. He comes in with a 6.0 ERA in 3 innings pitched. He's given up 1 run, 1 hit, 2 runs, both earned. He's walked 3 and struck out 4 in 3 innings of work. And we will get you the official starting lineup for Batavia when they're coming up to bat. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and tell you that it is going to be a very swampy day today. 77 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. 82% humidity, winds blowing to the northeast at 8 miles an hour. And it is going to be a bit swampy. And I can tell you from days living in Atlanta, and Jalen, I think you can appreciate this as well. When it gets humid and that wind dies down, that is when baseballs fly off the bat.
Yeah, that's right. And we got to remind ourselves, Paul Delanto, when he hit that grand slam, the wind was blowing to the right as well. So, but the fact is, it's blowing to right field. It's going to really favor a lot of these left-handed batters.
Well, I mean, not only the left-handed batters, wind at 8 miles an hour. If a right-handed batter gets one up in the air heading out toward left, as long as there's not a big gust, it should have a pretty unimpeded path to the fence, as it were.
Yeah, really. Yeah, going out to the right, and like you said, how it's gonna carry the ball deep to right. I would like to see how some of the right-handed batters will be able to use that and push that opposite field.
Well, we'll see that in about 2 minutes here. To give you the defensive alignment for the Batavia Muckdogs, from left to right, it's going to be Ramos, Brooks, and Vesco. Jackson Inman, the longtime Batavia Muckdog, at third. David, Brock, and Quintaro from short to first. And behind the dish, also longtime Batavia Muckdog, Cooper Romich. Throw down to second, and we are set for baseball here in Batavia, and set to lead it off for the Tarp Skunks is Grant Moore.
Like I said in the previous game, Muckdogs are going to make it very hard. That last win went into extra innings. You gotta go after the pitcher as quickly as possible.
So Grant Moore stands in, left-handed hitter, batting .467 on the season. Squares to bunt, and the first one inside for a ball, 1-0.
I like that good idea from Grant. You usually don't see that from him when he starts off the game.
First pitch at 6:42 p.m. as that one on the outside corner up in the zone, 1-1.
And I'm looking at how Inman is at third. He is a little to his left towards shortstop.
Dangerous place for him to be, especially Moore has the ability to go the opposite way down the line. Count goes to 2-1.
This is a little bit of a shift on the right or third base.
Swing and a miss on a fastball outside the zone. Moore went and chased that one, and the count goes even at 2 apiece.
Again, he likes to work the count here. Knows how to extend it at bat.
The 2-2 in the dirt, and the count goes full, 3-2. The Tarp Skunks wearing their new black and white pinstripe uniforms with the blue hats, I believe.
almost want to call them iconic. You usually don't see black pinstripes.
And you don't usually call a uniform iconic after the, second outing, but that is exactly what they are. As Grant Moore draws a leadoff walk, and C.J. Dugan will come to the plate.
C.J. Dugan getting the second spot. I would like to see how he does a little higher up on the lineup.
Dugan due for a breakout game here. We'll see what he can do against Marsh, the left-hander. As Moore takes his lead off first. First pitch. Spins inside, gets away from Romick, but not far enough away for Moore to advance. 1-0.
And Grant Moore checking to see how far that ball went from home plate. And like we said in the last game, the spot behind the plate is not deep enough like it is in Dietrich.
We'll throw over to first, and Moore's back. So now Marsh comes set. Kicks and throws. And there's a little chopper towards short. David has it to second for one. On to first, two. A double play. And there are two away.
And that is not what you want to do in the first inning. But nonetheless, it is two gone. That's going to bring up Eric Weeks.
Number 6, Eric Weeks.
So now Weeks being tasked with resetting the inning, essentially. Trying to get on, extend the inning to get to the heart of the order. Blake Herman on deck. And the first pitch taken for a strike, and it's 0-1.
He watches that first pitch. Finds himself with 2 outs.
That one outside, and the count goes 1-1.
Again, that's what the thing about a lot of these batters on the Tarp Skunks is they know how to extend an at bat. They do have that plate discipline.
Weeks with that rhythm, rocking the bat back and forth. There's a ground ball up the middle. Nice attempt by Brock at second, but the ball goes under his glove, and Eric Weeks with the first base hit of the game.
I gotta give credit to Eric Weeks. That was a good spot, hitting it almost right up the middle. Good job by Brock trying to make a dive-in effort for it, but it just gets past him.
So now Blake Herman stands in, one of the Tarp Skunks' more prolific RBI hitters here.
And that's a guy that you can count on when you're on base.
First pitch swung on, fouled off to the right. That one's out of play. And it's 0-1.
You know, you can tell the aggressiveness by Blake Herman swinging at the first pitch and fouling it. He really wants to bring Eric across.
Throw over to first, and Weeks is back. Definitely want to move the line. Even, a base hit to get Weeks over to third for Delanto, who's on deck, would be just fine here. 0-1 breaking ball, misses up, 2-0, or make it 1-1.
And Marsh, when he wheels and deals, makes the kick throw to home. I'm having a hard time trying to tell whether he's going to pick off or not. It's almost like the same motion.
Very deceptive. As there's a weak chopper down the third base line. That one's going to go foul. And Herman falls behind 1 and 2.
That was a good spot for a chopper. Unfortunately, it was fouled. That was almost like a bunt.
So now we'll do it again. What could have been a nightmare inning for Marsh has settled into something manageable. We haven't really talked about it much this year, but in the last couple of years, pitchers, at least even in the major leagues, they say 15 pitches per inning. Swing and a miss, and Herman goes down on strikes. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the first inning. It's the Tarp Skunks nothing, and the Muckdogs coming to bat.
Season tickets start as low as $99. Stop by the merchandise stand tonight and sign up.
Back here at Dwyer Stadium in Batavia, Jamestown unable to score in the first inning. We go to the bottom of the first inning, and the Muckdogs starting lineup leading off at shortstop, Jalen David. Jeremy Ramos, the left fielder, will bat second. Evan Brock bats third at second base. Jackson Inman, the third baseman, will bat cleanup. Glenn Brooks, the center fielder, bats fifth. Cooper Romick behind the plate bats sixth. Luke Rabinski, the designated hitter, bats seventh. Jacob Vesco bats eighth in right field. James Quintaro, the first baseman, bats ninth. And Braden I, the ex-hitter, will bat 10th. On the mound for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is Tate Johnson, and here to tell you about him is Jalen Ferguson.
Yeah, Tate Johnson sitting here with a 1-0 record, has a 6.0 ERA with 6 innings pitched. He also, this is his third start of the season, and he's gotten 4 runs, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks.
All right, so Johnson, who in his last start pitched very well. First pitch, low and away for a ball, and it is 1-0.
He pitched really well in the last game. If it wasn't Newark, then
Niagara, I believe.
Niagara.
Speaking of Niagara, they'll be at Dietrich Park on Saturday for their first appearance in Jamestown. That one missing up high for a ball. And it's 2-0.
It's a very close play. Or that was a very close pitch right there. Good job by Delanto being able to frame it, but unfortunately did not get the call.
Yeah, Johnson up in the zone a little bit. There's a ground ball to third. Knocked down by Herman. Throw on to first in time. And there is one away. Nice play by Herman to knock it down. Stay with it. And get the speedy David at first.
Yeah, Herman, and I think it was in bunt protection. It came really fast. Good job for him to keep it in front of him and make the play to first.
So that's going to bring up the left-hander Jeremy Ramos. One away, bottom of the first inning. Glad to have you with us here on the Jamestown Tarp Skunks YouTube and the next day on WRFA 107.9 as there's a fastball. Or make that a breaking ball in for a strike. 0-1.
Blake Herman still in the grass there. Still maybe in bunt protection.
The 0-1 pitch. There's a fly ball out to center field, but easy 4 more as he tracks under it. And quickly 2 away.
Yeah, it's looking like we might get a very fast-paced game here. I mean, first inning went by pretty fast, and the Tarp Skunks to get 2 quick outs here.
So Evan Brock, the second baseman for the Muckdogs, stands in. 2 down, bottom of the frame. Herman stepping back, even with the bag at third. Outfield straight away. And the first pitch from Johnson is going to be up and away for a ball.
That was a good spot by Delanto.
And Delanto doing a good job framing these pitches. Not a lot of movement behind the plate. As Johnson comes set, kicks and throws. Curveball swung on and missed. And it's 1-1.
Yeah, got him to chase at that one. He's not expecting the curveball.
That had some filthy break to it. And the 1-1 pitch. In the dirt. And it goes 2-1.
He's been favoring the off speed in this at bat.
Yeah, with good reason, has been able to spot it pretty well. Brock waiting, the 2-1 pitch. There's another high fly ball out to center field. Moore circles under it, but gives way to Dugan, and the inning is over. Nothing doing for the Muckdogs as we go to the bottom of the top of the second inning. It's no score in Batavia. As we're back here in Dwyer Stadium at Batavia, no score between the Jamestown Tarp Skunks and the Batavia Muckdogs as we go to the top of the second inning. It'll be Paul Delanto, Justin Bremner, and JRC 5-6-7 due up for the Skunks as they will face the left-hander Matt Marsh on the mound for his second inning of work.
That was a pretty fast first inning. Tarp Skunks want to slow it down just a little bit.
First pitch to Delanto way outside for a ball, 1-0. Yeah, they would like to make Marsh work here a little bit.
That's what you got to do. He said Batavia is going to be very tough.
There's a foul down the third baseline. Evens the count at 1 apiece.
Delanto, he has that power.
333 on the season.
Driven in an RBI in yesterday's game.
Now has 7 on the season. 1-1 misses. Count goes 2-1.
Getting good plate discipline by Paul Delanto. Count is in his favor with a 2-1 count.
Yeah, good hitters count here. Swinging a foul straight back. And no flinching from the crowd yet again. That's impressive.
Yeah, remember the last time we were here, the lady right in front of the netting didn't even flinch.
I think that's the same lady sitting there today, too. Must have the season ticket spot. 2-2. Is that one inside? 3-2. Justin Bremner on deck. Little protection for Delanto.
Again, Delanto knows how to extend an at-bat. Back in Niagara, was able to extend it to a 12-pitch at-bat.
So now 3-2. Fastball called strike 3 on the outside corner. Delanto didn't like that call, and there's one away.
Yeah, I can tell a little frustration. He was almost trying to walk to first.
So with one away, that's going to bring up Justin Bremner. Bremner in his third game of the season. Just arrived on Sunday, played Tuesday. Got his first base hit of the season yesterday. Late in the game, and the first pitch he takes is a ball. 1-0.
Has to be pretty good to get your first hit in a well-known area.
Oh, yeah, he's loved in Jamestown. Enjoyed having his dad sit up in the booth for an interview yesterday as that one's fouled off. 1-1.
He interviewed his dad and Lindquist.
Come to find out, Justin Bremner is one of the poker players in the clubhouse. Turns out there's quite a few poker players out there. Branson Lindquist being one as well. As that one's taken for a strike. 1-2. We were talking rounders. And not the movie, just talking about playing poker during the game. As a little bit of rain was happening before 5 o'clock, so a bunch of us gathered down in the bullpen. As that one's down low, 2-2. I got to tell you, man, these kids, you know, and I say kids, they're about your age too. They know way more about poker than they should.
Yeah, I wanted to learn poker, but when I tried learning, I lost all my money.
Swing and a miss, and Bremner goes down on strikes. Third strikeout of the game, second strikeout of the inning for Marsh. And that's going to bring up Joaquin Rodriguez Costa, JRC.
JRC was given the day off yesterday and back in the lineup today.
And for those of you stat hounds, disregard his stats on the website. They are wrong. They have it listed at 091. No, he's hitting 267. He had 3 hits the other day, 4 hits out of 15 at-bats on the season. So he takes the first pitch he sees for a ball.
We talk about that breakout game. He had his breakout game.
And there's a breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 1-1. Yeah, JRC, You knew it was only a matter of time before, because he was hitting some hard hit balls just right at people, and there's a high pop up. Shortstop, David going out underneath it, and that is the side. Nothing doing for the Tarp Skunks as we go to the bottom of the second inning. No score in Batavia.
And here we are at the bottom of the second. 4, 5, and 6 is due up, and here to tell you all about it is Dre Guinness.
All right, thank you very much. Jackson Inman leads off for the Batavia Muckdogs. Tate Johnson on the mound for his second inning of work. I'd like to remind you that the Tarp Skunks will be on the road tomorrow in Geneva. That game will be on the Geneva YouTube only. And then back at Dietrich Park on Saturday for the Niagara Ironbacks. First doubleheader out of 2 this season, the Elmira Pioneers on Sunday.
We do have our work cut out for us in that.
Some people would say it's a lot of work. I just say it's a good weekend.
It is a good weekend for baseball.
First pitch taken for a strike. Tate Johnson finding the zone. And the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball just missed. Delanto tried to frame it, and it just wasn't happening that time.
Yeah, this umpire strike zone is a little bit narrow today.
So now 1-1 the count. Swing and a miss. 1-2 to the longtime Batavia Muckdog.
That's a good job by Tate Johnson. He's been showing that off speed, but it has been very hard to hit.
This might be Inman's first at-bat of the season. And there's a swing and a miss. And he goes down on strikes. One away here. Bottom of the second inning, and that's going to bring up Glenn Brooks.
And again, breakout season or breakout games. Tate had one, and he's carrying that momentum into this game.
First strikeout of the game for Johnson. And for Glenn Brooks coming in batting .314. Three RBI on the season. Takes the first pitch for a ball. 1-0. Tarp Skunks coming into this game winning 6 in a row, 8 of their first 9. There's a high fly ball to center. Moore doesn't have to move much. Tracks it into his glove, and quickly there are 2 away.
Just like that, 2 outs, 2 quick outs. That shows momentum.
And for Grant Moore, he's getting his steps in early. 3 out of 5 outs in this game have gone directly to him.
He's been getting a lot of work out there at center field.
And here's Cooper Romick. 385 on the season, 4 RBIs. He stands in against Johnson. And we were having a conversation with the Batavia staff up here trying to figure out, is it Romick? We're going to go with Romick today. Is that one up high for a ball? 1-0.
Yeah, I think it's Romick. I'm not too sure if it's Romich. I think you're right. It is Romick.
Well, sometimes we do get Batavia Muckdog fans watching along with us, so if they know, definitely put it in the chat. That one taken for a strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
And the guy on deck, Rabinski, we were also trying to figure out his name the last time out, too.
1-1 fouled straight back and quickly 1-2. And, you know, for fans, for spectators, this type of weather, it's a little tough to sit through. But for a ball player, this is almost the kind of ball game that the weather you want to be playing in. That humidity will keep you loose. It'll drain you. You'll have to stay hydrated. As there's a weak flare out over shortstop into center field, and a base hit for Cooper Romick.
Yeah, Kiefer was trying to range back for it, but unfortunately it got over in that sweet spot right behind Kiefer and in front of Moore.
First hit of the ball game for Batavia, and that's going to bring up Luke Rabinski.
It's almost like both teams are trading punches with hits. Got one in the first, and now the Muckdogs answer back.
Rabinski batting .333. This could be almost like a Foreman Ali fight here. As a first pitch down in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. Both teams coming out with early jabs.
Foreman and Ali, or a Mike Tyson.
Oh, this ought to be good. Mike Tyson versus
Jones Jr.
Ground ball to second, picked up by Weeks, throwing to first, and the inning is over. No runs, one hit, one runner left on base. We head to the top of the third inning. Jalen Ferguson warming up in the bullpen. He'll bring you the play-by-play when we come back. No score from Batavia. No score between the Tarp Skunks and the Muckdogs as we go to the top of the third inning. Both teams with one hit on the day. Two up for the Tarp Skunks, 8, 9, 10, Lindquist, Dumas, and Kiefer. And here to tell you about it, it is one Jalen Ferguson.
That's right. There is only one me. Standing in is Branston Lindquist as he swings and misses at the first one. So now it is 0-1 the count. And Branston Lindquist getting the DH today as the 0-1, and that one is outside for a ball, 1-1.
It seems like Joe Riddebach has a good rotation going, not only with his pitchers, but with his catchers.
Yeah, he's starting to figure something out.
Yeah. Delanto starts, Lindquist in the DH, then
that one is in the dirt, so it's 2-1.
Fetchick will start. Delanto will be in the DH. And You know, and so it goes. The circle of catchers.
That's the thing. That's good that he's found it. And I mean, it's clearly working as they have been winning these games. That one catches the zone for a strike. It is 2-2.
And Lindquist asking about it.
And that was a little outside. So 2-2 to Lindquist. Swing and a miss. And Lindquist is sat down on strikes. And so that will be the first out, and that will bring up Matthew Dumas.
Fourth strikeout victim for Matt Marsh here. He's dealing.
Yeah, like we said, back in the bottom of the second, just trading blows here. Mike Tyson versus Roy Jr. Roy Jones Jr. The first pitch is in there for a strike. It is 0-1.
I don't know if I would use Mike Tyson as an example because unless you're Jake Paul and you're paying him millions and millions of dollars to work a fight.
That one is fouled to the backstop. It is 0-2.
I don't think you can name anyone that could really stand toe-to-toe against Mike Tyson. Even James Buster Douglas, when he beat him for the world title in Japan, a lot of people from the boxing world saw that as a fluke.
That one is hit right up the middle, and Brock gets the stop, throws the first, and not in time. And Dumas was able to beat out the throw, and that will bring us to the bottom of the lineup, Tino Kiefer.
So Dumas using his excellent speed to beat out a ball on the ground. And Tito Kiefer now looking for an opportunity to move him over.
And you talk about the speed. Dumas stealing bases. That one is hit. Foul down the right field line.
Dumas had a perfectly timed steal yesterday that was so filthy.
It was perfect. He was gone before the pitcher even left his leg up. That one is up for a ball, 1-1.
Might be on the move here, though, against a left-hander with a deceptive move to first.
It is.
He's going to have to watch him here. Ooh.
And that one up for a ball, 2-1.
And Marsh coming off the mound a little bit, limping just a little bit. And I'm not sure, did he tweak something or did he just lose control of the baseball? We'll see. No meeting to the mound to check on him, so apparently he's all right.
And it was kind of awkward, so he's going to reconfigure himself and get back to where he was. So Dumas at first, Tito Kiefer with a 2-1 count. That one misses for a ball, 3-1.
And this is the kind of at bat the Tarp Skunks are looking for. After a base hit, being able to move the line, add more to the bags. Tito Kiefer doing a good job with the plate discipline and pitch selection.
Tito Kiefer can draw walks, as that one is hit to Inman.
Oh,
and
wow.
He wanted that to be foul, but it stays fair. And so now, with one on first and one on second, that will bring us back to the top of the lineup. Here is Grant Moore.
Wow, there are major leaguers that put down bunts they wish that could be that perfect. Looked like it was going to roll foul there, but it bounced on the dirt a couple of times and then rolled on the grass. And by the time Inman recognized it wasn't going foul, it was too late to get anybody. So the Skunks in great position here.
Grant Moore watches one. Both going to capitalize on the pass ball, and they do. So now runners at second and third. That puts Grant Moore in a good position to capitalize on this. 1 out.
And this is exactly the type of situation that Skunks have been able to cash on. When the other team makes those mental mistakes, gives up free 90 feet, the Tarp Skunks are able to cash those in. We'll see if he can cash a couple in right here with a base hit.
And again, they capitalize on mistakes. They do not hesitate. So 1-0 to Grant Moore. That one is fouled behind the plate. So now Grant Moore is at an even count at 1-1.
One heck of a swing. Just a little late.
Dumas at third. Kiefer at second.
Third baseman Inman is playing way off the line.
Swing and a miss from Grant Moore. And so now it is 1-2. You know, and I'm noticing that Marsh has been taking his time with his pitches here. Taking a lot of time on the mound.
Doesn't feel the need to hurry. Results have proven he doesn't have to.
So 1-2. That one is hit. And a catch by Inman. And so now it is 2 outs.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. Delanto got jammed. Wanted to take it the other way, but just got jammed and fisted it right into the glove of Inman.
I was just about to say, that one caught the handle. So that would bring up C.J. Dugan.
We'll see what Dugan can do here with 2 on.
That one is inside for a ball. 1-0.
Oh, that was filthy movement on that curveball. Started in on the inside corner of the plate and broke right over C.J. Dugan's back foot.
So 1-0 to Dugan. That one inside for a ball. 2-0.
And Marsh working to get Dugan back. Dugan crowding the plate a little bit. Marsh has been excelling on the outside corner up to this point. Dugan's not accommodating him. So eventually we're going to see a challenge versus challenge here.
And again inside. That was a good stop by Romich, keeping Dumas at third. So now Dugan is in a 3-0 count.
And now it looks like we are going to get a visit to the mound. Looks like the trainer for the Batavia Muckdogs coming out as well. As remember earlier in the inning, I don't know if I can't remember if it was this or last inning. It's been going so quick here. Marsh threw a pitch and then walked off the mound. Looked like he was favoring his plant ankle a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was this inning. And yeah, after that, the precision that he had at the start of the game just wasn't there.
Seems to have slipped off a little bit here. We'll see what they're going to do here. And Matt Marsh is going to be pulled from this ball game due to an injury. And you can see the frustration on his face as he was dealing a beauty here so far. And we'll get you the new Batavia Muckdog pitcher when he comes out to the bullpen. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back here. No score, but the Tarp Skunks threatening here in the top of the third. Back here at Dwyer Stadium, the new Batavia Muckdog pitcher is going to be Jack Page. Page comes in his third appearance on the season, has no record with a 3.0 ERA. He's given up 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 of those earned, struck out 9, and has only walked 1. It's going to be a difficult position for him to come in, though, already facing a 3-0 count to CJ Dugan and runners at second and third. It's always a tough situation when a pitcher gets injured and the next pitcher has to come in with a count. You'd like to start fresh.
Yeah, this is a pretty tight spot. Not only that, with 2 in scoring position, and if you throw 1 ball, then you walk CJ Dugan.
So that actually brings up an interesting point. You know, we talked about the numbers, 9 strikeouts against 1 walk-on this season. So the question is, do you go ahead and just throw the 1-pitch walk to Dugan, load the bases, and approach Eric Weeks with a fresh count so you can work the way that you want to work? Or do you try to attack back and see if you can get Dugan already up 3-0? He's already looking at a hitter's count, so Page is in a disadvantage right off the get-go. He's got to come in with something, otherwise he's going to walk Dugan.
Yeah, he's going to have to do something. I mean, even if you do want to start fresh, that is a slippery slope because then you have bases loaded. And like we said earlier, the Tarp Skunks does not hesitate when the other team makes a mistake.
So here we go, 3-0.
That one's in there for strike 3-1. And like you said, they got to have it pitch.
Well, that answered my question quickly. Decided to go right at him.
He just wants to get that third out. And a snap throw to second. And David makes the catch.
Yeah, it looked like for a second that Kiefer might have gotten hit in the back there, but the ball trailed away from the bag there.
So 3-1 to CJ Dugan. That one's in there. And there is a full count now, 3-2.
Yeah, Page coming out dealing.
I gotta say, that was a pretty nice off speed right there.
Trying to pick up Marsh here. This would be one heck of a pickup.
That one, called strike 3 on the inside, and that one will retire the side with 1 hit, 2 left on. We go to the top of the 4th. Bottom of the 3rd. It is still 0-0.
Bottom of the 3rd inning here in Batavia. No score between the Tarp Skunks and the Muckdogs. For Batavia, it'll be 8-9-10 due up. Vesco, Quintaro, and I. And here to bring you the bottom of the 3rd is Jalen Ferguson.
Thank you.
That'll be $23.95.
I mean, I still owe you $20,000 for Forceful Skunks. So here comes Jacob Vesco.
I'll give you the buy one, get one free.
I mean, I already used it twice.
Okay.
So that means I owe you $10,000.
I take cash.
So Vesco will get the lead off here in the bottom of the third on a 0-0 ball game. And that one is hit. Popped up. Herman coming in and makes the catch on the mound. And that is one away. And Herman was given the go-ahead. He makes the catch on the mound. And the mound kind of tripped him up, but luckily he was able to make the catch. And that will bring up James Quintaro.
You know, he had the turf in Niagara Falls. He gets the mound here in Batavia. I think if any Tarp Skunk player could do American Ninja Warrior and succeed, it'd be Blake Herman.
That one is up for a ball, 1-0. And yes, Blake Herman has showed his athleticism. Not only just athleticism, but his toughness as well.
I would almost pay to see that, to be honest with you.
Maybe we can convince him. That one is hit. Line drive into right center field, and that will be a base hit for James Quintaro. So the Muckdogs get their second hit of the ball game, and that will bring up Braden I.
A nice piece of hitting. It's only the second hit given up by Tate Johnson here so far.
Yes, said it. Only the second hit in his third inning of work. Very impressive.
Braden I coming in 158, 3 for 19 on the season. Only has 3 RBI.
Snap throw to first, not in time. So with Quintaro at first, the count to Braden I. That one is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count.
And again, one of the things that we look for right around the third inning is consistency of the home plate umpire, and it's been there.
It's been there.
His strike zone's expanded out a little bit past the black, it looks like.
So 0-1. One misses for a ball. Yeah, it expanded. I thought to start out the game was a little narrow, but I think he expanded it a little bit more. I don't know. 1-1 the count. So Braden I. That one is hit to Weeks. Weeks throws to second on the first. And not in time. So they only get 1 out. But it's 2 outs in the inning, and that will bring us back to the top of the lineup. It is Jalen David.
Yeah, board on the fielder's choice. Could have been wiped out there, but just too much speed for my.
Jalen David is back to the top of the lineup. 2 outs here. That one is in there for a strike. 0-1. You know, I always gotta love it when the pitcher starts the at-bat in 0-1.
And David grounded out to third his first time up. 0 for 1 on the day.
Snap throw to first. Not in time.
Braden I on base via the fielder's choice. And Weeks played that perfectly. You know, set his feet. Ball came into his glove. Nice soft toss over to short. Good throw by Kiefer from short to first. But just, again, too much speed from I.
Another snap throw to first. And, yeah, Weeks has shown his utility. He's played all around the diamond. That one is in the dirt for a ball. 1-1. Good stop by Delanto. So 1-1 to Jalen David. Braden I at first.
Breeze has really picked up here.
And that's fouled behind the plate. It is 1-2 the count.
When the game started, the flags were barely flapping. Now they are blowing pretty much straight out to right field. And the temperatures come down a little bit. The humidity seems to have been blown out. So ever-changing weather creates ever-changing conditions on the baseball diamond.
So 1-2. Braden I, a lead. That one is hit right up the middle. And Kiefer cannot make the play, and so that will be another base hit. So runners at first and second, and that will bring up Jeremy Ramos.
Second hit of the inning. And now the Muckdogs with a go-ahead run at second base. As Jeremy Ramos stands in, flew out to center field his first time out.
So let's see how Tate Johnson can get out of this inning here. So the 0-0. That one is hit deep to right. And that one hits off the wall. Throw back into the infield. 1 run scores and another one scores. And just like that, the Muckdogs take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, that was a good piece of hitting for Ramos. Looking fastball, first pitch, and just drove it down into the corner, bouncing off the wall. There was no chance for Dugan to get to that one. And a quick 2-0 lead for the Muckdogs. And the fact that the Skunks left 2 on in the top of the inning now is a glaring omission in this game.
Yeah, and like you said in pregame, how the wind is blowing off to the right. How that one hung up there over Dugan's head. So with 2 across, that brings in Evan Brock. That one is a strike. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, it kind of got caught up in that jet stream a little bit, and now the wind has completely died down to right field. Swirling a little bit, but...
So 0-1. And a swing and a miss, and the ball in the dirt. Now 0-2. If I'm Tate, just got to have short-term memory. Just get out of this inning and rely on your hitters.
Bit of blue sky out there, mottled with some dark clouds.
And the sun is taking a peek. Taking a look at this ball game. The 0-2. Outside for a ball, 1-2. And the sun is taking a glance at this ball game.
That's a new one.
I mean, it is.
I'm not mad at it.
Just checking. It's been checking the score. So 0-2. That one is hit to Kiefer. Bobbled it. Oh, no, it gets past him. And so throw into the infield. It is. And it's in time. And they stop another run from coming across. So with 2 hits, one left on, we go to the top of the 4th. It is a 2-0 ball game.
Oh my goodness, that could have been disastrous. That really could have.
I think it's a base hit.
back here at Dwyer Stadium, where the Muckdogs take a 2-0 lead, and it could have been worse. An incredible throw from Dumas to Delanto at the plate to gun down Ramos, trying to score from second on the base hit from Evan Brock. And it's going to be due up for the Tarp Skunks. Weeks, Herman, and Delanto, 3-4-5, as they will face Jack Page, who came in relief for Matt Marsh due to injury. And here to tell you about it is Jalen Ferguson.
Thank you. And like you said, that was a pretty good throw by Dumas. Able to gun down the runner. Here comes Eric Weeks. It's a brand new inning. See how they capitalize. That one is in there for a strike. 0-1. That off speed froze him. So 0-1 the count. And that one is hit fouled behind the plate.
It's going to be interesting to see how the Tarp Skunks respond here after the 2-run gut punch.
You can't really let that hurt you, though. You just got to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get back at him. So 0-2, and that one is hit, and that one is through for a base hit for Eric Weeks. So there you go. That's how you start momentum up.
You know, Weeks is probably one of the most dangerous hitters on the Tarp Skunks lineup with 2 strikes. Him and Grant Moore seem to thrive in that position in a leadoff single for the Skunks.
Speaking of the Canisius core, here is Blake Herman.
Herman struck out his first time up. You know he's itching at the plate right now.
Yeah, he's itching. Want to lay down a bunt. Pulls back for a ball, 1-0.
I'm not sure if that was a serious bunt attempt or just a flash to throw Page off. We'll see if he squares around here again.
I mean, Blake Herman is very crafty. That one is in there for a strike.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to move Weeks over. It'll be interesting to see if Weeks is going to be on the move here.
Wait, Eric Weeks has shown that he can. That one is fouled off down the right field side. You know, we saw a fake steal by Weeks there. But now with 2 strikes, we could possibly see him go. So 1-2 to Blake Herman. And a step throw to first. Not in time.
Close.
That's the thing. Keeping Eric Weeks at his toes. So 1-2 to Blake Herman. With no outs. And the run. Throw to second. And it's out! He is out at second. And so now, there is 1 away here at the top of the 4th.
I was just going to mention that the last time the Skunks played here, they lit Cooper Romick up for 9 stolen bases. That was on Eric Weeks' mind, and Romick must have been thinking it as well, gunning down Weeks on the steal.
So 2-2 even count. And strike 3 to Blake Herman. And the off speed froze him up, and now that will bring 2 outs. And that will bring up Paul Delanto.
So now 2 down for Delanto. Herman struck out twice so far today. Delanto was struck out. And Page has this nasty breaking ball.
It is. It's froze a lot of pitchers, or a lot of hitters. The first pitch is Strike one.
Not only does it break, but he's got location for it, able to put it where he wants.
So 0-1 to Paul Delanto. That one outside. 1-1 the count. And more clouds coming in.
Yeah, that wind really picking up here.
So 1-1. That one is in there for a strike. 1-2 the count. And you talk about that wider strike zone. You might have to square some of these up. So 1-2 to Paul Delanto, and that one fouled. Good job by Delanto being able to stay alive.
Now, it's going to be interesting, too. The lights are not on here. I think there was a conversation. Someone has to come out and turn some lights on. And it's starting to get a little bit dark here. We could run into a delay if they're not able to figure that out soon.
So 1-2 outside for a ball. 2-2 the count.
Bit breezy here.
Yeah, those clouds are coming in low. It is getting a little dark. Wonder how your camera's doing. As that one misses. So 3-2. This camera's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I don't trust taking the filter off yet.
That's true.
And by filter, I mean the ZZ Top cheap sunglasses.
So 3-2. That one is in there for called strike 3. And with that, the side is retired. So with one hit, nobody left on. We go to the top. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It is still 2-0.
As we're back at Dwyer Stadium here in Batavia, New York, it is the Muckdogs 2-0 over the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Tate Johnson on the mound for his fourth inning of work. He will face Inman, Brooks, and Romick. And here to tell you about the bottom of the fourth inning is Jalen Ferguson.
And I am back again here for the bottom of the fourth. I wonder how Tate Johnson is going to get out of this. Jackson Inman to lead it off for the bottom of the fourth. Swing and a miss. And so it is 0-1 the count.
Yeah, Johnson needs to get back to pitching to contact, trusting his defense. His defense needs to be there to pick him up. And then they've got to figure out how to handle Jack Page because he went from one starting pitcher to another, and he's been dominant just like Marsh had.
And that one hit back up the middle for a base hit. So Jackson Inman, and oh no, trouble at center field. He's going to third, and he slides in, and just like that, Inman is at third.
Well, a hit and an error puts the leadoff runner at third, and that is not the way the Skunks wanted to start this inning.
It is not. So now Johnson's going to be feeling a little bit of the pressure here with no outs and a runner 90 feet away. Here is Glenn Brooks. And infield in on the grass. That one is hit. And that one, it will get down. And Inman is going to come to score. And oh man, Glenn Brooks gets a triple here. And so now the Muckdogs are up 3-0 with no outs. And that is something you don't want when you're the Tarp Skunks. So we're going to do this situation all over again. That's going to bring up Cooper Romick, the catcher.
And there is activity in the Tarp Skunks bullpen. And this is something exactly what you wanted to avoid, as the infield now playing in.
They're playing in again. And Romick. That one in there for a strike. 0-1. And like you said, pitching for contact. But again, the Muckdogs are hitting it in the spots. Hitting it in the gaps. There really isn't much you can do about that. That one is hit. It is hit into left center field once again. Another run's going to score. Romick is going to stop at second, and so that will be an RBI double for Cooper Romick. And it is now a 4-0 ball game here in Dwyer Stadium.
Yeah, and that ball hit the exact same spot as the triple from Brooks, and that may be all for Tate Johnson.
Yeah, a slow walk to the mound, and hasn't taken the ball yet. Maybe this is a conversation. I mean, they're just now getting action in the bullpen. And I don't know.
You know, we've been spoiled over these past 9 games. The Skunks have come out, they've been swinging the bats, they've been putting on the pressure. And, you know, coming into Batavia's ballpark, it's always a tough game here. Muckdogs defend their house, and they do it rather well, and they're coming out swinging with a vengeance as Riddebach heading back to the bullpen, or to the dugout. Johnson staying in the game, but he is in trouble now.
That will bring up Luke Rabinski. Like you said, yes, he is in trouble. You just need one out. One out can change the momentum of this inning. So Romick at second. Corner's playing in. And Rabinski at the plate. And the first pitch misses for a strike. 1-0.
Designated hitter number 4, Luke Brzezinski.
Again, you just want to get out of this inning. Got to put up an out here. So 1-0. That one in the zone. So 1-1 the count. You're talking about swinging with a vengeance. Maybe they still have that game, as that one is fouled at the plate. That nail biter game in the back of their minds.
Yeah, last night against Niagara Falls, the Americans able to fight back, give up a game. Tarp Skunks are in that position. They have not been in that position much this year.
So 1-2. That one in the dirt for a ball. 2-2. And yeah, like you said, they haven't been in a position to fight back that much. But, you know, there's still plenty of game.
And they got 5 innings to do it. They just
And-
got to get out of this one.
And one thing that this league has taught me is that no lead is safe. Is that swing and a miss, and just like that, the first out of the inning is a strikeout.
Yeah, we discovered that last night. No lead safe. We also discovered that Tuesday against Olean.
Right fielder number 99, Jacob Vesco.
So that would bring in Jacob Vesco.
Vesco in his first at bat popped out to Blake Herman, who almost tripped over the mound catching it. Yeah, we talked about it in the pregame show. Avoid the big inning. Well,
Had 2 of those.
side quest failed here tonight.
And that one is hit foul down the right field side.
That one almost hit a bird in flight.
0-1 the count. Yeah, that would be pretty rare.
And you have to go back and you have to think, you know, what would have happened if the Aaron Center hadn't happened.
And that one is hit fouled behind. You know, the Aaron Center, that did help. It did help Batavia with some momentum.
Yeah, but then 2 big knocks off the bats.
And it was almost hit in the same exact spot. So 0-2. And that one, strike 3. And Johnson gets 2 straight strikeouts. And that will bring in James Cantaro.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, Tate Johnson has found his way back into the strike zone, and he's taking this inning personally.
That's what you got to do when you're a pitcher. When you give up 2, you just got to focus on the next batter. So with 2 outs, 1 on second. That one is hit. That one is fouled down the right field side. And again, Batavia has been hitting those spots, been hitting it in the gap, hitting it through the holes in the infield.
Quintaro, with a base hit his first time up, was put out on the 4-6 to end the inning. He gets
That one is a hit by pitch.
Ankle biter.
So Quintaro gets on via a hit by pitch. And that one will bring in Braden I.
The extra hitter number 17, Braden I.
Johnson needs to shut this down right here.
He does. When you dig yourself in a hole, it's going to be hard to dig yourself out of it. But he can still be able to dig himself out of this hole by getting out of this inning. So, to Braden I. That one misses for a ball. 1-0 the count. So Quintaro at first. Rabinski at second. Swing and a miss by Braden I. Now the count is even at 1 apiece.
Top of the order with Jalen Davis on deck. Johnson trying to close out this inning here.
And that one is hit to first, but it's fouled. So now it is 1-2 the count.
So now Johnson 1 strike away from getting out without giving up any more damage. The Tarp Skunks are going to have a tall task ahead of them going into the top of the 5th inning.
So 1-2 to Braden I. And that one fouled at the plate. He made contact with that one.
Yeah, I mean, it went into the glove of Delanto. I thought maybe it hit the ground and bounced into the glove. Not sure there.
I think It hit the glove, but it didn't go into the glove. So 1-2 on a steal attempt, throw to third, and they got him in a rundown, running to second, and he slides, and they make the tag at second for the out, and that will end the inning. So with 2 runs on 3 hits, we go to the top of the 5th. It is a 4-0 ball game.
For your Muckdogs in the bottom.
This is a new pitcher, yeah.
Throughout the Globe region. Together recruiting and inclusive workplaces make stronger communities.
So here in the top of the 5th, Justin Bremner, JRC, and Branston Lindquist do up, and here to tell you all about it and the new pitcher is Drake Ennis.
All right, new pitcher on the mound for Batavia, trying to get the name or the number to go with the name here. Well, issue with the website, we're not getting the updates, so.
I mean, the number, I think that's 11? No, that's 77.
77? That's going to be Walter Garrett. For Garrett, this is his 3rd appearance, comes in with a 1-0 record, 0.0 ERA in 1 1/3 innings. Has walked 1, struck out 2. Left-handed pitcher, and he will be responsible for trying to hold on to this 4-0 lead for the Batavia Muckdogs.
Leading up to Jamestown, designated hitter number 9, Justin Bremner.
So here's Justin Bremner coming up. Struck out his first time up.
And again, now you got to use that 4-0 deficit to motivate you.
So Bremner stands in. Garrett kicks and throws in the first pitch, taken up for in the zone for a strike. 1-0.
And there's still a lot of game.
Still a lot of game, but the issue now becomes Bremner has to be a leadoff hitter, just like the beginning of a ball game. He's got to give the guys behind him a little bit of a look at Garrett. That one misses on the outside. 1-1. That one taken for a strike, 1-2. Garrett, actually the Muckdogs closer, he was involved in that battle with Chase Barron the last time the Skunks were here last Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Now 1-2. And the hard-throwing left-hander misses off the zone, 2-2.
That was a beautiful battle, too.
So Bremner trying to get on here. Tarp Skunks need an answer. That one low and away, 3-2. Bremner showing a good eye.
But again, Tarp Skunks baseball, being able to draw walks and get on base, that's what you got to do. Just got to get on base any way, shape, or form.
Well, they've gotten a couple guys on base. Swing and a foul. They just haven't been able to do anything with them. By the way, for those of you that are interested, the play where Cooper Romick got caught, or was it Romick? It might have been Romick or Quintaro. I don't even know at this
I
point.
think it was Robisky, actually.
That one missing outside for a ball, and Bremner draws the leadoff walk. Score at 1-5-4-6.
Even I didn't know you put all the numbers who got the out.
Oh, yeah, you got to. Otherwise, when you go back and you go back and you try to figure out, what happened where, if you just see guys out, you don't know how the play happened. You see 1-5-4-6, you can figure that one out. Drive into left field opposite way, but Ramos takes a couple of steps to his left and puts it away for the first out.
And again, the wind is blowing towards right. So unfortunately, hit it opposite field to left, and it died a lot quicker. And Ramos was able to make the catch.
So that'll bring up Branston Lindquist. 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout.
He didn't make very good solid contact on that, though.
First pitch taken down for a ball, 1-0. For Lindquist has been on a bit of a tear here lately.
And I love how he was able to be among the team leaders in RBIs.
As a throw over to first. Coming into this game with 10 RBIs on the season.
He did that in just 2 games.
6 of those 10. 1-0 pitch catches the outside corner, 1-1. Tarp Skunks' second-year catcher waits, and that one's chopped weakly down the first base line, rolls foul.
That's got to be a little frustrating. He hustled all the way to first, hoping to beat it out, but it rolled foul. We're starting to see a lot of that in this game.
It's the result of a late break on a fastball. Get a slider, sinker, something along those lines to get that late tailing movement, and something you think you're going to square up and barrel out squibs off the end of your bat. You're lucky to get it 45 feet. For the Muckdogs, they were lucky that ball actually rolled foul.
Yeah, because the previous one, it didn't, and he thought that it was.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Lindquist goes down on strikes.
Yeah, that was, he was able to foul it off, but unfortunately got the strikeout there. So now it's quickly 2 away.
8th Tarp Skunk to strike out here in this ball game, and now with 2 down, that's going to bring up the speedy Matthew Dumas. First pitch, outside and up for a ball, 1-0. Looked like ball came out of Garrett's hand a little too late.
Yeah, it came out of his hand a little too late. Do that fastball, though.
0-1, bunted, popped up, and that one will bounce foul.
I gotta say, I love the decision on bunting. Again, being able to change your game. Want to surprise them with a bunt there.
So Dumas will step back in, count even at 1 apiece. A reminder, on the road at Geneva tomorrow, then back Saturday and Sunday. There's that one taken on the outside corner for a strike, and it is 1-2.
Again, Dumas, it's not really that tall, so his strike zone is going to be a little bit shorter. But Guerrero was able to find it.
Runner picked off from first, throw down to second, and Bremner is thrown out. Nothing doing for the Tarp Skunks here in the top of the 5th inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Muckdogs up 4-0. Oh my God.
What are we looking at here? What is this game?
Freaking nightmare. Nightmare. I mean, look, they've been on hot streak.
Yeah.
Bound to happen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as much as I hate the phrase, it is what it is.
I mean, hot streak can't last forever. It was only a matter of time. But then again, there's still plenty of game left.
I don't know if I'll be even have the money.
I'm sure you'll get back.
Cohen Harris, the new Tarp Skunks pitcher. As we're trying to match up the line score here, it is going to be Breeden I who was in the box when it was Cooper Romick that got picked off. So I, and then the top of the order, David and Ramos. Cohen Harris pitched extremely well in his last outing in Niagara. For Harris, 0-1, this is his 3rd start. Comes in with a 7.36 ERA. 3.2 innings pitched on the season. And the first pitch is off the plate for a ball, 1-0.
And we're starting to see a lot of the same things be repeated in this game. I mean, pickoff throws, the hit to left center, that happened twice.
As that one misses for a ball, 2-0.
And as unique as baseball is, some things can be repeated.
You know, it started on Tuesday. The weirdness, we fell into the twilight zone yesterday as there's a foul out of play, and it's 2-1. And it seems like the twilight zone is twisted into the phantom zone from the Superman universe. If I walk out to the concession stand between break and I see Zod, I'm going the other way. That one misses for a ball, and it's 3-1.
So if it's like this tomorrow, what zone would it be? The zone from I don't know, the back room?
I mean, I haven't seen that yet. Looking forward to it. As the 3-1 misses low for a ball and a leadoff walk for the Muckdogs. That'll bring up the top of the order for Jalen Davis, who has doubled, scored a run, and grounded out to third.
Yeah, so hopefully they're able to get out of this situation here. One gone. Braden Aya showed his speed on the base path. Harris gives him a look.
So now Harris comes set and the pitch. Bunt shown. Ball off the glove of Lindquist goes all the way to the backstop, and Braden Aya will head into second base.
I thought that was I thought that was fouled. I thought that hit something. But I guess not. I guess that hit the glove of Delanto.
Yeah. Ticked off his glove. Did I say Lindquist? I'm used to him being behind the dish. My mistake.
Lindquist is in the lineup, though.
Yeah, there goes my perfect game. That went away in the first. Harris comes set. Bunt shown. Went for it on a pitch outside of the strike zone by about a foot. And count goes 1-1.
I'll say your perfect game. I've been off my game today. I'm still trying to bring it back.
That's why I'll never be able to go pro. I can never get through a game where I'm happy. There's a line drive up the middle. That is a base hit. Moore charges it. They're going to send the runner home. No. The throw cut off by JRC on a good throw. They would have had I by about 3 feet. So first and third with nobody out. And that brings up Jeremy Ramos.
I thought Grant Moore was going to try and dive for that one, but unfortunately it fell right in front. Good throw back into the infield to hold the runner at third. And so now it's first and third situation with no outs.
Yet another Muckdog hit as Ramos, the left-hander, stands in. Runner goes. No throw from Delanto and an easy steal.
Well, the pitch was inside. I would have messed up Delanto's throw.
1-0 the count. Breaking ball finds the zone, 1-1.
So with I at third, David at second.
Harris quickly in trouble here. 2 runners in scoring position, steps off. Takes another long look in. Delanto with the signs. In the pitch. There's a ground ball foul down the first baseline. And the count goes 1-2.
Well, Harris is in a good position to try and get the batter out with 2 strikes here. As the infield is playing in on the grass.
So now Harris kicks and throws. There's a drive out to center field. Moore circles under it, makes the catch, tag, and coming in is I. He will score on the sacrifice, and it's 5-0.
That was a good job by Grant Moore being able to get under it and make the catch. I like the throw decision. Maybe trying to get Jalen David at second if he was trying to go to third.
So first out of the inning comes on a sacrifice fly as I comes across, and that's going to bring up Evan Brock. For Brock, 1 for 2, singled last inning. Runner goes to third, throw from his knees, and a stolen base for Jalen David. And the Muckdogs using their speed to create pressure.
And Blake Herman, he had to scoop it up. By the time he put the glove down, Jalen David was already at third.
Second stolen base by David in this inning.
So infielders in.
1-0 the count. There's a weak chopper toward first. Throw to home, and the throw is offline. The run comes in to score. Moving to second is Brock on the fielder's choice, and it's 6-0.
You know, you just got to go and get the next one after that one.
And error on the throw. Not sure if they're going to score that a fielder's choice. Well, it would be a fielder's choice and an error. I'll have to check and see if they give him the RBI. As the first pitch to Jackson Inman misses for a ball, 1-0.
I think that should be. Well, if they give him the fielder's choice, then the RBI wouldn't count.
No, you can get an RBI and a fielder's choice. It's if it's on the error, the throwing error that the run scored. That would be where the RBI didn't come through. There's a ground ball, hits first base, and they're going to say a foul ball. And wow.
They got saved from that one. Down the right field line, that would have been oof.
You know, it happened to the Tarp Skunks yesterday. There was a line drive that bounced off the right field line that was called foul that should have been fair. If I'm being objective, which I like to think I can be like 6% of a ball game, I'll cash that in right here. Say that ball went off the first base bag. That should have been a fair ball. So now 1-1. There's a line drive into center field. That is a base hit. Moore quickly has it, throws it in. JRC there to cut it off, and runners at the corner with one out. The hit parade for the Muckdogs continues.
You know, again, has to be very frustrating. I mean, Batavia's just hitting it in the spots, hitting it in those tough play areas. And Graham Moore has been getting some work out there in center field.
And Joe Riedebach's seen enough. He's going to go to the bullpen. We'll get a new pitcher when we come back. But the Muckdogs, runners at the corners with only one out. And we'll be back in just a moment. Do not adjust your television set. It is 6-0 here for the Batavia Muckdogs, as they've scored 2 in each of the third, fourth, and fifth inning. As the new pitcher, Rocco Almonte, coming on for the Tarp Skunks. As the lights just now coming on here at Dwyer Stadium. Not sure if I trust taking the lens filter off. Yeah, we'll check at the in-between innings here. But Rocco Almonte coming into a unenviable position. 1 out, runners at the corners. 6-0.
Center field number 20, Glenn Brooks.
And this has not been a typical Tarp Skunks game. Throw over to first. And the runner's back. Jackson Inman at first. Evan Brock at third, and Glenn Brooks at the dish.
And like you said, it hasn't been the typical Tarp Skunk game.
First pitch down for a ball, 1-0.
But again, every team has their off days.
You know, I think, and yeah, it's affecting us a little bit because we're so used to, you know, a lot of runs for the Skunks as the runner goes. Ground ball up the middle, and it gets through into center field. Run scores.
And that was a very successful hit and run. Weeks was trying to get the stop or trying to make the tag on the steal, but then it was hit straight to him, and he had to jump the other way.
Ball was coming right at him, but off of his glove side, struggled to get there.
We see something like that, but we saw something like that last week, but that time it was with Enders at second.
So now 7-0 Muckdogs. And El Monte needs to find something here to get the Skunks back at the dish. First pitch misses for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, like you were about to say, like, it is not been the typical Tarp Skunks game that we have been accustomed to these last 10 games.
You know, these happen. The last time that we were on this end of it, you have to go back to the second game of the season where the Oilers, or the third game of the season where the Oilers mercied the Skunks 11-1.
That was almost 2 weeks ago. Or no, that was a week ago.
Going on 2 weeks. 2-0 pitch. Missing low for a ball, 3-0. And it kind of sucks the wind out of us. It sucks the wind out of the Skunks dugout. You know, these games do happen, and I think they're necessary. You know, you're riding so high, you take certain things for granted. You know, and a game like this will remind you that more work needs to be done. 3-1 pitch at the knees for a strike, 3-1.
That how you put that? I didn't think of it like that, but that does make a lot of sense. You know,
and I'm going to be honest with you. The way the game's looking, the M word is lurking. But I would much rather have that happen than lose a 1-0 ball game.
That is true.
Runners go on the hit and run. Ball popped up behind home plate, giving chase. And was he able to make the catch?
No.
Doesn't look like Blake Herman was able to hold on to the ball.
It's a little bit of a collision.
Delanto and Herman chasing after it. The ball hit in and out of Herman's glove, and
I think he had it in his glove. I saw it. Then the collision knocked the ball out of his glove.
So now full count to Brooks. We'll see if the runners go on a full count with 1 out here.
Like I said, the M word. But one thing.
Runners go. Here's the pitch. Weak chopper toward the mound, and that one's foul.
That one was fair.
Bounced off his foot.
And we talk about, but one thing you don't want to do is that you do not want to get shut out. And that's what the Tarp Skunks have avoided all season. They have not been shut out at all this season.
Well, Batavia also wanted to make a statement here in this one. Now time called. Rocco Almonte wants a new baseball. As the wind really kicking up out there in the outfield now. Flags are whipping toward right field.
Those flags are a little elevated now.
That's an ominous sign here in this ballpark, especially with the way the Muckdogs like to go the other way.
Now clouds are starting to creep in from our left.
What was the word I used to kick off the broadcast? Ominous?
Ominous.
Well, ominous is here. 3-2 pitch popped up. Foul behind the plate, and that one is going to go out of play, and we'll do 3-2 all over again.
And, you know, we saw this yesterday when Chase Barron was trying to get the close, but one thing is, when you're trying to get out of the inning and one batter is just refusing to quit, can really change your approach at the mound.
So here we go again, full count, and Almonte steps off.
This is a 3-2, and keep in mind, there's only one out.
Brock at second, Inman off first. The 3-2 pitch. And that one is low for a ball. Delanto didn't like the call. And the bases are loaded.
And like I said before the game, limiting the free passes, even though they haven't given as many free passes, they've just been hitting the ball.
Did they bat out of order? No, it is Luke Rubitsky. Okay, I'm just a better behind in the scorebook. First pitch for a ball, 1-0.
That type of thing happens. Being a batter behind, being a batter early. I mean, a lot is going on in this inning specifically.
So 1-0 the count. Almonte kicks and throws. There's a ground ball to first. Picked by JRC. He's going to take it to first himself. Run comes in. And it is now 8-0 Batavia.
Now it is 8-0. But now they have 2 outs, so hopefully Rocky can just pitch for contact and get out of this inning.
So now Jacob Vesco stands in. Runners at second and third, 2 down here in an 8-0 ball game. Looking to add on. First pitch outside for a ball, 1-0.
And one thing I've noticed by Vesco, and I haven't been able to talk about it because he hasn't been up at the plate as long as I want. He is very tall, but is crouched down low.
Has kind of a Tony Gwynn style stance.
Or
Ricky Henderson, if you like the right-handers, as that one misses for a ball, 2-0.
I was going to say the leadoff hitter for the Cubs back in the early 2000s, Patterson. He was another one who had a very low crouch.
Holding that bat almost straight up and down, now cocking it back. The 2-0. Swing and a foul back. And I think that one got Delanto off the mask. And it's 2-1. Well, everything we said the Skunks needed to avoid tonight, they didn't. The big inning, a lot of runs.
They haven't been walking that much. That's one thing I will give them.
And the 2-1. That one finds the zone, 2-2.
They haven't given them that many free passes. The problem is that the Muckdogs have just been hitting it. There isn't anything you can do once the ball leaves the bat.
So now 2-2, 2 down here. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. And the Muckdogs are out of the inning, but 2 runs, 4 hits. They leave 2. We go to the top of the 6th inning. It's 8-0.
Current score is Batavia 8, Jamestown no score.
I thought that was an 8. That's not an 8?
That looks like an 8 to me. 8-0 here in Batavia. The Muckdogs rolling here as we go to the top of the 6th inning. And the Skunks will send up Dumas, Kiefer, and Grant Moore. 9-10-1 due up here. And the Skunks running out of opportunities as Garrett will start his second full inning of work. Throw down to second. Take this opportunity to remind you that the Tarp Skunks will be on the road tomorrow at Geneva. That game on the Geneva YouTube. Then we're back at Dietrich Park on Saturday at 6:30 p.m. as the Niagara Ironbacks come into town to take on the Tarp Skunks. And then the Elmira Pioneers on Sunday. Doubleheader, 4 and 6:30 first pitches. You don't want to miss those games. Come on down to Russell E. Dietrich Park and support your Tarp Skunks today. First pitch to Matthew Dumas, up high for a ball. And it's 1-0. Dumas was at bat when Bremner got picked off. So he will start over fresh here. Lefty on lefty. As that one misses out for a ball. 2-0.
Let's say Dumas can start the momentum. And Dumas have shown to be a momentum starter by leading off on a walk.
That one finds the strike zone. 2-1.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't Dumas one of the team leaders in walks?
I believe so. As there's a high pop-up to right field, sliding and unable to make the catch is Vesco out and right. And Matthew Dumas gets a base hit here. First Tarp Skunks base hit in 3 innings.
Yeah. On that base hit, you got to appreciate the effort Vesco did on that sliding effort.
So here's Tito Kiefer now. 1 on, nobody out. Wind whipping to right. Runner goes, pitches inside, and Dumas slides in safely with no throw.
Again, that pitch on the inside is going to throw off Romick his throw to second, so he just ate it. Now they're going to speak at the mound.
Might a little bit of cross up between Romick and Garrett. And this conversation taking a little bit too long. I don't know why the home plate umpire didn't go break up the tea party, but it's over now. I guess all the watercress sandwiches have been eaten.
That's a new one.
I'm reaching at this point. 1-0.
Quintaro playing in on the grass.
There's a drive out to center field. Brooks can't get it. It falls, and a base hit. Dumas had to hold until the ball hit the ground, and runners at the corners with nobody out. Top of the order now for Grant Moore.
This is a good position for Grant Moore. A one on first and third. So hopefully they can drive one in.
Romick out there doing the signs. That was always my Achilles heel with baseball, is signs. I could never remember them. I could never interpret them. I hated them. And yet these guys are experts at it. Grant Moore stands in. First pitch he sees is a strike on the inside corner. Moore has walked and lined out to third.
I'm talking about the signs. I struggle with them too, but then my coach brought wristbands for us and just said numbers.
Oh and 1. Skunks down 8. Runners at the corners with nobody out, and a pickoff attempt to first, and Kiefer slides back in.
Keeping close tabs on Kiefer.
You know, I didn't want to mention anything, but I mean, I got to point it out. The 2 games the Skunks have been dominated have been in those new pinstripe uniforms. So that one misses outside, 1-1. We got the Olean Oilers mercied the Skunks at home the first time they wore those. They're wearing them here today, and
but we did
nothing.
But they did beat Niagara Falls in these.
There's a ground ball into right field. That is a base hit. Coming in to score is Dumas, and it's 8-1.
You know, that's all you got to do is slowly chip away at this lead here, as now they're only down by 7. And the coach is walking to the mound.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get a call to the bullpen here or if we're going to just get a how you feeling and you think you can get out of this one.
I mean, I don't see anybody in the bullpen right now.
Yeah, this is more of a how you doing.
If you believe everyone deserves the chance to live, work, and thrive in their community, give Art Glow a big round of applause tonight.
So the Skunks, after struggling to get base hits, 3 hits here in the inning. And that'll bring up C.J. Dugan. Dugan's grounded into a 6-4-3 double play and struck out back in the third. That was the at-bat where Matt Marsh got injured, left with a 3-0 count, and Dugan looked at 3 straight strikes after that. First pitch to him is squares to bunt, and it's a good one. Off the mound, throw to first, not in time. And the bases are loaded. C.J. Dugan using that speed, and the forest full of Skunks here suddenly.
And that is what you like to see. He was able to put it down in a good spot, and with his speed, able to beat it out. And that's going to bring up Eric Weeks. And if there's anybody who I think can drive in some of these runs, who has proved it time and time again, it is Eric Weeks.
Well, Eric Weeks 2 for 2 on the day. He always seems to thrive in this situation. Garrett came in strong, now looking a little shaky here. Nobody out, and the first pitch is going to be way off the plate for a ball, 1-0. You know, it was interesting. I got home on, was it last night? I can't remember if it was last night or the night before, but watching the Giants come back down from 9-1. Is that one in the dirt? And it's 2-0. Down 9-1 in the 8th inning.
I mean, we also talk about comebacks. I know we got some Knicks fans who came back from a 28 deficit last night.
Do you buy into the Danhausen thing?
Do I?
Because it's getting some mainstream pub here, and you know,
Do I? No.
2-1 misses up high, or 2-0 misses up high, 3-0.
I don't buy into the Danhausen thing.
It's comedically funny, but it's also very ironic that after he lifted the curse, the Knicks have gone on this massive run with 2 huge comebacks. 3-0 right down the plate, gotta have it strike, finds the zone.
But I also think that there is a sports-related explanation for why they came back.
Okay, I'm all ears.
I mean, when they came back against the Cavs,
as the 3-1, that one hits the zone 3-2, and now Weeks is gonna have to protect.
I mean, when they came back against the Cavs, I mean, in that game, Jalen Brunson was the leading force of why, but also just the amount of turnovers the Cavaliers had.
3-2, force for the Skunks. The pitch inside corner, called ball 4, and Weeks gets the RBI with a walk. Bases still loaded. It is now 8-2.
You know, just talking about basketball, but now this game is giving me something to talk about here, as the Tarp Skunks slowly chipping away at this lead with no outs.
That's going to bring up Blake Herman. Herman has bad intentions on his mind. Struck out twice here so far today. First pitch taken on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1.
I don't know. Maybe we should have Danhausen at Dietrich. What do you think about that?
You want to pay the appearance fee? Go right ahead. 0-1. I think we're doing fine without him. That one missing off the plate, 1-1.
But he could help us win. I'm joking.
Now you're just being silly.
I am.
Still nobody out here. 1-1 to Blake Herman. And the pitch. Swing. And a miss. And it's 1-2. Herman has shown the ability to drive the ball out of this ballpark in a playoff game last year in high school.
Blake Herman has that sneaking power that we always talk about.
1-2. Could use a drive in the gap here. Foul back at the plate. And we'll do 1-2 all over again.
Blake Herman, he has shown that he is able to work his way back into an account, whether that be fouling these off or finding a pitch that he likes to drive it.
Paul Delanto on deck. That wind blowing out to right. With a gusto. Which you could call it a gusto of wind. 1-2. Oh, and that comes in and hits Herman. Herman gets hit by the pitch, and a run comes in to score. And the manager is going to come out and argue that Herman leaned into it.
No, I don't think Herman leaned into that. That one hit him square in the thigh, and that hit him square in the leg. That was on his stride, and yeah, I got to say, no, that hit him.
And this conversation getting somewhat animated down here. 8-3 now. As Paul Delanto stands in. Touch them all, Paul. We know what he did with the bases loaded in Olean. And conditions very similar. Wind blowing out to right.
I mean, he has a big gap out in right center field.
First pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Forget parking an 18-wheeler out there. You could build a Buc-ee's out in that gap.
That's a good one, actually. A Buc-ee's or a Wawa. or even a Walmart.
Oh, let's not lower the class here. That one's outside corner for a ball, 1-1.
I want to say Target, but I think Target's too small.
8-3 now. And this has turned into a ball game. And like you mentioned earlier, no lead safe here in the PGCBL. That pitch comes inside for a ball, 2-1. And Garrett has started to lose his ability to find the zone.
And again, that plate discipline that all these players have is helping them come back into this ball game.
The 2-1, way outside, 3-1.
And Paul Delanto has shown to have that plate discipline as he holds the longest at bat this season for the Tarp Skunks.
And Justin Bremner on deck. Bremner has power. Delanto has power. JRC behind him and Lindquist all have power. It's a dangerous part of the lineup. That one misses up high for a ball, and another run walked in, and it's now 8-4, and that might do it for Garrett.
Yeah, I think that might be it. Yep, that's going to be it. New pitcher coming.
So Garrett's night is done. We will get you the new Muckdogs pitcher when we come back. Forest full of skunks. Justin Bremner coming up. 8-4 Batavia. New Batavia Muckdogs pitcher is Erwin Branch. For Branch, his third appearance, he comes in with a 4.15 ERA. 4 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 4 hits, 1 run earned. Sorry, make that 2 runs earned, 3 walks against 1 strikeout, has given up 1 double, and he's going to inherit a very tough position here as the bases are loaded with nobody out and the Tarp Skunks threatening here.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. That never say die attitude. Being down 8-0, and now it's almost a brand new ball game here.
And that energy seems to be returning not only to the Skunks dugout, but the broadcast booth here as well.
You know, it's amazing how energy can trickle down to not even just the field, but into the broadcast booth as well.
Well, I mean, it just shows we have an emotional investment in this. This isn't just a job where we're calling the Skunks. We're a part of this. We feel like we're a part of it. We're not on the field, but we're into it.
I mean, we talk to the players.
Right.
I go to the practices. I ride the bus. It's almost like it's an emotional attachment to not even just the team, but to the players themselves.
First pitch from Branch on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Second time in this game that Justin Bremner has had to face a new pitcher. We'll see what he can do with Branch here. 0-1. As that one catches the outside corner, 0-2, and Bremner not happy with those calls.
And you say this is the second time he's had to face a new pitcher. Maybe that is the strategy, that they're purposely taking out the pitchers just for Bremner.
That would be a lot of respect. I don't think that's the case. I just think it's timing. 0-2, almost in the same spot, and Bremner looked it off. 1-2.
And hopefully Justin Bremner can work his way back into account his favor.
Weeks off third, Herman off second, Delanto off first. And the 1-2 swung on a miss. And Bremner is the first out of the inning.
And Bremner chased at that off-speed pitch. I thought he made contact, but he swung on and missed, and that would be the first out.
Here's Joaquin Rodriguez Costa, JRC, the tall left-handed first baseman. Bases loaded, that wind blowing out to right. And the first pitch down low for a ball, 1-0.
So with bases loaded, hopefully we can see JRC use that power that he's shown that he has.
Have his Bryce Eldridge moment. Eldridge hit a grand slam to walk off the Nationals the other day. And the pitch. That's down low, 2-0.
Only that, Braden Montgomery walked it off for the White Sox 2 nights ago. In his debut game, actually.
So 2-0, great hitters count. Branch throwing nothing but heat here. The 2-0. There's a high chopper toward the hole at second. Glove, snag, throw. Not in time. 1 run scores, 2 runs score. And it's 8-6. And is that Herman? That's Blake Herman getting up and hobbling a little bit. JRC with a hopper that went deep in the hole at second. Brock went over. By the time he threw it to first, JRC had beaten it out. Dumas came in, and Herman right behind him. Delanto at second. It's 8-6.
And that's what you gotta love. That never say die attitude. Now it's a brand new ball game here. 8-6, and with 1 out.
As Branston Lindquist comes up, 10th Tarp Skunk to the plate, give JRC 2 RBIs, and I mean, Blake Herman continuing to do Blake Herman things.
That was a pretty close play at the plate.
First pitch to Lindquist up high for a ball, 1-0.
You know, because of that being a very close play, he might have caught a little bit of contact with the catcher.
I think he did, but Herman is the ultimate gamer. And I don't mean Xbox or PlayStation 5. I mean ball gamer.
I don't know. Maybe he is.
As that one on the inside corner for a ball, 2-0.
That's something we had to ask him. If he is a hardcore gamer.
I doubt there are many like big gamers on this team. A lot of smart guys. We saw Colin Pence reading a case study for his pre-law internship.
I have to admire that.
Oh yeah. That one's fouled back and it goes 2-1.
You got to admire his pregame reading a book. And forget, there's been many baseball players who've done that.
And there have been many baseball players that have done far worse. And the pitch. That one catches the outside corner. 2-2, and the Skunks need to be looking at that. The home plate umpire has been calling that the entire game.
It's either you gotta choke down on the bat or crowd the plate a little bit.
Got to be sitting looking dead red on the outside corner here. 2-2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Lindquist goes down on strikes. 2 down. And we flip the lineup over for Matthew Dumas, who will have his second at bat of the inning.
You know, it's like I said, Dumas has shown to be the momentum starter, as he has done time and time again. And he did it again today, which is why now they put up 6 in this inning.
So now 2 out. Delanto at second, JRC off first, and the first pitch comes in a bit high for a ball, 1-0.
Dumas has that speed. You know what I would like? I would like for him to lay down another bunt.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
I mean, just look how third base is.
Well, Inman's playing even with the bag. He's actually leaning in. Might be expecting that as well as a pitch goes outside. 2-0. That would be gutsy. I think it would be the wrong call at this point, though. Let Dumas swing away. Don't take the bats out of his hand.
Then again, they could get the runner at second on a bunt.
Long look. 2-0. Outside 3-0.
Get Dumas that plate discipline, being able to work the count to a 3-0 count.
And Branch is going to have to come in with something here. If Dumas is looking dead red fastball and he can rip something down the right field line, we could be looking at a tie ball game. .30 taken right down the heart. 3-1.
We gotta have it. Matthew Dumas now has it.
And you wonder, was that a red light take or was that a Dumas call there?
You can make the argument for either or.
Yeah. 3-1. And the pitch. There's a line drive into left field. That is a base hit. Holding at third is Delanto. He had to jump over Jackson Inman, and that took him out of his stride.
I got to admire the hurdle over there, that almost football-like hurdle over Inman.
Second hit of the inning for Matthew Dumas. And Tito Kiefer stands in. Forced full of skunks.
Once again, and Tito Kiefer has shown to draw walks.
Base hit ties the ball game. Power against speed. There's a drive into right field, heading toward the corner, heading over and making the catch is Vesco. But the Tarp Skunks get themselves back in this game. 6 runs on 6 hits. The bases left loaded. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's the Muckdogs 8 and the Tarp Skunks 6. Back here in Batavia. And I fixed that up there. 8 runs on 11 hits and no errors for the Muckdogs. 6 runs on 10 hits, 2 errors for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. And we are back in business as Rocco Almonte back on the mound. He will face Quintana I and the top of the order in Jalen David.
I almost thought you were giving me the intro for a second.
I don't know what I'm doing right now. Check, please. Waiter. Cancel the cobbler.
I mean, in your defense, Jalen David does have my name.
Yeah. I didn't know I needed a defense. I should probably call a lawyer here. Is that first pitch from Rocco Almonte up? For a ball, and it's 1-0.
I mean, I think it's fair to play devil's advocate in this situation.
Paging Al Pacino. 1-0 the count to Quintana as there's a high pop-up into the outfield. Moore and Dugan converging, and Dugan makes the catch. And there's one away.
It was a good job by Dugan, but I got to say, that is the second time that they have been very close to each other on a fly ball.
I think Moore just instinctively that close behind Dugan just in case the ball popped off his glove, but Dugan definitely appeared to have called that one as Braden I stands in. I has walked and reached on a fielder's choice, has scored twice as there's a ground ball off the glove of Almonte, scooped up at second, throw on to first, is in time. What a play by Eric Weeks to get the tip off the glove from Rocco Almonte and get the speedy Braden I by a step, 2 down.
I'm not gonna lie, that's almost got to be the play of the game right there. That hit off of Almonte's glove, and how Weeks was able to change his trajectory and go for the ball and get the out at first.
So now with 2 out, Jalen David, the top of the order, first pitch comes in and hits him.
And well, first pitch and those hit by a pitch, but hopefully that doesn't stop their momentum here with 2 quick outs. Hopefully they can get the next one.
As Jeremy Ramos stands in, he has flown out to center to lead off the game.
And Joe Riedebach is walking to the mound.
And it looks like we are going to get a new Tarp Skunks pitcher. So Rocco Almonte walks off the mound. The pretty good outing. We'll get you the new Tarp Skunks pitcher when we come back. But 8-6 Batavia, a new pitcher for the Tarp Skunks. We'll be back in a moment. This time we've confirmed it is Joe Man Santos, left-handed pitcher coming in for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. And he will inherit a 2-out, 1-on situation And we want to go ahead and send out a very special shout out to Joe Man Santos's family. Told us before the game that they watch and they watch the highlights when he pitches, and we appreciate it. And we hope you are having an outstanding evening. As Santos set and ready to work here, facing the left-hander, Jeremy Ramos.
Santos, they only need one out to get out of this inning. You want to make this inning as quick as possible.
Ramos is flown out. There's a pickoff of the runner again to throw to JRC, and he is out. More base running follies happening here in Batavia, and Santos out of the inning without even throwing a pitch. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Jalen Ferguson warming up in the bullpen. We'll be back. It is 8-6.
Time to send it down to Muckdogs for tonight's
What the heck is going on? This is like the third time that they were caught in a run there. Gotta give the stats though. You guess.
That's a home run in our book.
8-6 here in Batavia. The Muckdogs holding on to a 2-run lead over the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. But the Tarp Skunks will send the top of the order up with Moore, Dugan, and Eric Weeks. And here to tell you all about it, it is Fergie J. Jalen Ferguson.
Thank you.
I got nothing at this point. I'm a fried ball of refried beans. Actually sounds good.
Refried
Yeah,
beans.
get some refried beans, roll it in some breadcrumbs, and deep fry it.
Just refried beans?
I mean,
Like no rice?
no rice, just refried beans, maybe a little cheese and some diced onions.
Like-
See, now I'm hungry.
Like no, like just refried beans.
Just refried beans. There's nothing wrong with just refried beans.
Just refried, like nothing on it.
No, deep fried. You put a dip in it. You know, it's like,
So
like
no
like
chips.
you're asking an awful lot of me. Take it away.
Thank you. As we continue on to the top of the 7th, and that will be Grant Moore to lead it off against the pitcher Branch. That one is inside for a ball. 1-0 the count.
Yeah, this is definitely power against power. For Grant Moore, he has walked, singled, and lined out. 1 for 2 officially.
And that one, it is through for a base hit for Grant Moore. And so now, hopefully they can continue this momentum from the top of the 6th into the top of the 7th.
Yeah, the Tarp Skunks sending up 12 batters the last inning, coming up with 6 across, and now a leadoff single here. CJ Dugan standing in with a knock and a run scored. 1 for 3 on the day for Dugan.
So hopefully he can be able to drive Grant Moore home. So Grant Moore has also shown that he can steal. And Branch giving him a look. And that one was
Ooh.
up. And CJ Dugan had to duck.
Yeah, it was up over his dome.
And the last person who took it wasn't it? It was JRC that took it, didn't he?
Took one off the dome piece, yep. That was early in the season.
As that one snapped throw to first. Not in time.
Branch throws everything hard. Throws to first, pitches. I don't think he knows the meaning of the word off speed. That could be a tell for the Skunks just looking fastball.
I mean, that's part of the reason why they were able to chip away at this lead. And now, as Grant Moore fake steal, this is a strike on the pitch.
That was a heck of a frame job by Romick because there was no way that ball hit the zone.
So 1-1 the count to CJ Dugan. It's Grant Moore at first.
That's more of a catcher's strike than a pitcher's strike.
And I've been told there is action in the Batavia bullpen.
As
Fake steal. And that one, did he swing? Because I'm seeing 1 and 2.
Yeah, not sure about that one. I don't think he did.
I'm gonna say 2-1. I'm gonna say 2-1 the count.
2-1, yeah, it is 2-1.
Grant Moore on first.
Looks like there's some light activity in the Tarp Skunks bullpen.
That one is hit. That one is hit high, deep to right, or shallow right. He's gonna make the catch. And that is the first out. CJ Dugan gets a fly out to right field, and the skip is coming out.
Second baseman number 6.
And it looks like that's going to be it for Branch. We'll get you the new pitcher after this.
He was the closer.
Wait, Garrett.
New Muckdogs pitcher, Garrett Beaver. And Garrett Beaver, the hard-throwing side armor, more like a submariner almost. And if I remember correctly, wasn't it him and Barron that went that 3-inning struggle last Wednesday? I thought it was Garrett, but now that I see the sidearm motion, that's ringing a bell here.
I think, I'm not too sure.
Maybe not, because I know Beaver went, well, it could be. This is his third appearance. He has 1 save and 2 1/3 innings.
It was Woodley who got the close on that one.
Oh, it was. That's right, because he's got the loss.
Yes.
So Garrett Beaver, side armor, though, going to be a little bit of a different look and more of a challenge. And again, I can't really call him a side armor. He's more of a submariner. Comes under that 90-degree plane.
Yeah, I had my fair share against batting against sidearm pitchers, and let me tell you, I could not get the bat off my shoulder. Not saying that Eric Weeks is going to do the same thing, but let's see what he does.
As someone who throws sidearm, I admire it, but as someone who used to have to hit off of sidearmers, I hate it too. It's a paradox, a juxtaposition. Choose your Scrabble word and take the double word score.
It's almost like every pitch from a sidearmer is a curveball. That one misses for a ball, 1-0. That one was outside. So a 1 out. Grant Moore at first. And runner, and that one is hit to shallow right, and he doesn't make the catch. Grant Moore caught down, and so it's only going to be a single.
Wow, that was a heart attack on 7 different levels. That could have been a complete and total disaster as Weeks almost rounded the bag and passed Moore on the bag. Moore luckily to get to second, and he was running on the pitch, kind of got caught in no man's land, had to make a beeline back as Vesco made a diving effort and almost pulled that one in, but
He had to.
whew,
He almost went to first and second twice. So that will bring up Blake Herman, as that one is in there for a strike, 0-1. You know, on that one, Grant Moore, because he did the steal, it was a hit and run, and then it was shallow. Grant Moore went back to first and then went back to second.
Grant Moore ran so much on that play, I got my cardio in.
So the second pitch is a ball, 1-1. Oh, that's a good one.
Good night, everybody. I've used all my best material.
So the 1-1 pitch, and that one is fouled behind the plate. It was amazing if you would have ended the stream with that. So 1-2 to Blake Herman. Paul Delanto on deck. And Blake Herman wanting to get more time to look at the sidearm beaver. 1-2. Outside for a ball. 2-2.
And that's a danger zone, too, because with the way that Romick has been framing those pitches on the outside corner, you have to be very cognizant of those pitches because the home plate umpire has been ringing people up there.
He has. That one is hit to third. Step on third. Throws to first. And Herman beats it out. So thankfully, they do not turn to. And that will bring up Paul Delanto.
So dodging a bullet on that one. Fielder's choice.
And again, that's the thing with the speed at the start of the lineup, being able to beat out the throws. That one is in there for a strike. 0-1.
That one had a little bit of frisbee action coming out of the hand, just kind of glided right inside on the inside part of the plate.
It is gliding. It's almost like it was slow-mo, but in real time. The 0-1 to Paul Delanto. As that one misses for a ball, 1-1. So with Weeks at second, and Blake Herman at first. 2 gone. Paul Delanto at the plate. And that one misses for a ball, 2-1.
And Delanto has the Muckdog outfield playing in the no doubles defense, playing deep.
It's almost like there's a shift on the infield as well. That one is in there for a strike. 2-2 the count.
And that's where the Muckdog pitchers have been living all day and getting that call.
Again, Paul Delanto has shown to be a fighter. Like I said again, still holds the longest at bat this season with 12 pitches. And that one is in there for called strike 3. And just like that, the inning is over. So with 2 hits, 2 left on, we go to the top, we go to the bottom of the 7th. It is 8-6. All right, and now we're back here at the bottom of the 7th. It is a 8-6 ball game, as it is Inman, Brooks, and Romich due up for the Muckdogs. And Joman Santos still on the mound, getting his 2nd inning of work. Or actually, no.
He's getting his first batter of work.
Because he was able to get out of the inning without throwing a pitch.
Picking off. Oh, I got to flip my scorebook, then I'll know who he picked off. Jalen David. So it's going to be Ramos, Brock, and Inman. And Joman Santos set to go to work.
So here comes Ramos at the plate. So, look at this. This would still be technically his first official inning pitching.
Yep.
That one is in there for a strike. And that breeze is coming through the window pretty good.
Oh, it feels so nice. And, I'm not sure what was nicer, the breeze through the window or the break on Joman Santos' curveball.
That one is in there. And I think the breeze is from the pitch, as it is 0-2. We're just feeling it. So 0-2. And that's a good miss,
that was
but
a good take.
Unfortunately, ball 1-2.
That was definitely a chase pitch outside the zone. That shows a lot of patience for Ramos.
So 1-2 to Ramos. And that one is hit, and that one is hit in the netting.
You flinched.
The fans don't see me, so it didn't happen.
No, I saw it. That's going to my postseason report.
It didn't happen.
He flinched.
So that one is misses for ball 2. 2-2. If that was at Dietrich, that would have been coming through the window.
And would you have flinched?
As that one is hit, and that one gets through for a base hit. And so Ramos leads it off with a base hit, and that will bring in Evan Brock. If it was at Dietrich, I probably would have flinched.
See,
but you would have ducked.
You missed the golden opportunity to tell me that I flinched back, because I flinched too.
You flinched out of your chair.
It's too late. Too late now.
It is too late. So Evan Brock due up, as he has Ramos at first. That one is inside. Throws to second. And it's not in time. And so Ramos gets on base via the pitch in the dirt. Would that be scored a pass ball or no?
I think more. Well, no wild pitch. I think
I mean, Paul Delanto kept it in front. I don't know.
if it hit the dirt first, it'd be a wild pitch.
So 1-0. That one misses for a ball. 2-0 the count to Evan Brock. And that wind, I'm starting to feel that wind. 2-0 to Evan Brock. Jeremy Ramos at second. That one is hit, fouled on the right side. So 2-1 the count to Evan Brock. Jackson Inman on deck. Weeks giving him a check. That one is hit, fouled down the right field line. And just like that, Santos is in an even count, 2-2.
Yeah, this is one of those. This is the time that you snap off one of those filthy breaking balls. They're sitting dead red on his fastball. Seem to have it timed a little bit here. So go back to what got you to the dance with that filthy breaking ball and go for the strikeouts.
And that's what he tried to do, but he missed it. So 3-2 the count to Evan Brock. It's 3-2, full count. Weeks covering the bag at second. That one is inside for a ball, and just like that, 2 base runners to start it off. And that's going to bring in Jackson Inman.
Not the start that he wanted. Let's see if Santos can get his way out of this one. Jackson Inman has been a terror at the plate today. 2 for 3 with a strikeout, a couple of singles, scored a couple of runs. As Joe Rittenbach going out to have a conversation with Santos. No throwing in the bullpen, just some stretching. So this is Santos's inning for the foreseeable future.
And hopefully he can dig himself out of this, hopefully not too shallow, not too deep hole that he's dug himself in. A double play can bring in some confidence and change the momentum of this inning.
So this is interesting here. Jackson Inman coming up with 2 on, nobody out. The third base coach came over and had a conversation. My eyes immediately went to Blake Herman. I'm expecting a bunt to the third base side.
Yeah. I mean, Herman, he's even with the bag at third.
Wouldn't be a bad idea against the left-hander. There's the bunt.
That one. And a double steal, not in time. And so now runners at second and third with no outs here.
He got the result of the bunt without actually making contact, pulled it back. And now he's free to swing.
And that bunt kind of threw off the throw from Delanto. So he had to stand up and throw it. That one is in there for a strike. And a lot of the fans here did not agree with that.
Well, they've been getting a lot of those calls all night, so they can give up one. Infield playing in on the grass. We're going to go to home on a ground ball into the infield.
Want to get Ramos at the plate. That one is hit up the middle, and that's going to drop down in front of Grant Moore, and a run is going to score. It is now a 9-6 ball game here in Dwyer Stadium.
Well, something had to give, and something did. A base hit up the middle. And Batavia clawing back and trying to get that momentum going.
You know what I'm noticing? Every time the Tarp Skunks pull their infielders into the grass, that allows Batavia to get a base hit.
center field and 20.
Even if they had been playing at normal depth or even double play depth, there would have been nothing they could have done. That ball was about 15, 20 feet in the air before it hit the grass in center.
It's a swing and a miss for Glenn Brooks. Evan Brock at first. No, Inman. No, Brock is at third. Inman is at first.
Yep.
Glenn Brooks at the plate. So that one is fouled behind the plate. And so now Brooks is quickly behind 0-2 to Santos. Hopefully Santos can get a strikeout. That would be huge in this inning. That one is hit, and that one is, oh, that is over Herman, and another run is going to score. So now it is a 10-6 ball game. And I got to say, I got to admire the vertical jump by Blake Herman. I thought he snagged it out of the air, but unfortunately, it was just over his glove and into the field of Dumas.
That was one heck of an effort, but just a little bit too high. And the Muckdogs tacking on a couple. Going to make it tough for the Skunks late in the game here.
I was going to bring up Cooper Romick. That one is in the zone for a strike. 0-1 the count.
And all this happening with nobody out here.
And again, hopefully they can minimize the damage here. You know, they're only down by 4. Again,
still nothing doing in the Tarp Skunks bullpen.
Jackson Inman at second. Glenn Brooks at first. Cooper Romich at the plate. Like you said, there are no outs. So 0-1. And that one is fouled. So now Cooper Romick is quickly behind 0-2 the count.
And we've seen this a few times this inning, though.
But again, the Muckdogs have been able to get one into the outfield.
2-strike hitting has been their calling card here tonight.
That one hits a short throw to third, and he is out. That was the force at third. So now the Tarps can get their first out via the throw out to Inman, and that will be Luke Rabisky at the plate.
Yeah, Kiefer with a great play there. Having to roll back into his right, gloved it, knew he wasn't going to be able to turn across his body and throw to first. Ended up throwing it to Herman, covering the bag for the lead runner and the first out of the inning.
They got a pinch hitter for Luke Rabisky. So it's going to be Ryan Johnson, the pinch hitter for Rabisky.
From TNXL Academy number 52, Ryan Johnson.
So first pitch to the pinch hitter, and that one is in there for a strike. 0-1 they count. So with Brooks at second, Cooper Romick at first, and that one is hit into shallow left, and Dumas is going to make the catch for the out, and so now it is 2 gone here, and the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 7th. I was going to bring up Jacob Vesco.
Vesco on the day 0 for 3, struck out twice, has popped up to Blake Herman over at third. That was back in the 3rd inning.
So the swing and a miss by Vesco. So now it's 0-1 the count. And Brooks at second, making some jumping moves, but infield is not getting the hold. Well, no, Weeks is getting the hold at second. Swing and a miss again by Jacob Vesco. And so now it is 0-2 the count.
Santos rearing back with a little extra heat there. Now one strike away from getting out of this jam.
So 0-2 to Vesco. And a swing fouled on the right side.
And suddenly I'm glad I did not park my truck on that part of the parking lot tonight.
I know yesterday, if it wasn't for that bus, or a couple of days ago, if it wasn't for a bus, it would have hit your car. So 0-2 to Jacob Vesco. Hopefully he can get out of the inning. That one is outside for a ball. 1-2 the count. And like you said, he's adding some extra mustard to his pitches right now. So 1-2 to Jacob Vesco. James Quintaro on deck. And the off speed, no throw on the double steal. So now the count is 2-2.
And that was probably the smartest decision at this point. You know, even if he thought he might have had a play, no point in putting the ball in play where it could skip off a glove or whatnot and cause another run to come across unearned.
So 2-2 to Vesco. Swing and a miss, and they get out of the inning. So with two runs on 3 hits, we go to the top of the 8th. It is 10-6. It's 10-6. That's like you're done keeping score in scoreboard. He has a windup instead of a stretch. He's still throwing sidearms. I'm gonna put a question mark next to see it. And here we are to the top of the 8th inning. It is Justin Bremner, JRC, and Branston Lindquist due up for the top of the 8th. And Beaver is still going to be the starting pitcher for the Muckdogs.
So Beaver back out there. He's going to work on the middle of the Skunks order, 6, 7, 8. And this is where a lot of the power lies, though, with Bremner, JRC, Lindquist, and then you get into the speedsters, Dumas, Kiefer, and more.
Also got to put in CJ Dugan.
Yeah.
Actually, 1, 2,
And then
3,
Weeks.
4.
And then Weeks, speedster, and then you get back into, well, Weeks and Herman are hybrid speedsters with some power, some sneaky power.
So here comes the returner, Justin Bremner.
And the Tarp Skunks have a lot of work to do to get back into this ball game. Now trailing by 4, top of the 8th.
The first pitch to Bremner is up for a ball, 1-0. And yeah, they do have a lot of work, but they have shown that, I mean, back in the 6th inning, being able to put up 6. That one is in there for a strike, 1-1. Again, we talk about how hard it is to read a sidearm pitcher. So 1-1. That one misses for a ball, 2-1. Good eye by Bremner, leaving that one outside.
You know, one of the things I'm wondering about with this side armor here, and again, I'll argue a little bit submariner.
And a swing and a miss by Bremner. And now it is an even count, 2-2.
With the amount of torque that he has to generate to throw, it's a lot more than throwing over the top or 3/4 motion. You're generating a lot of torque on that rotator cuff. How much stamina does he have in that arm?
2-2. Swing and a miss. And Bremner is retired on strikes. And that will bring up Joaquin Rodriguez Costa, JRC, to the plate.
First baseman, number 19, Joaquin Rodriguez Costa.
JRC 1 for 3 with a single and a couple RBI.
So the 0 to JRC. Outside for a ball. 1-0. And that wind is blowing to the right. This would be very good for him to pull it. That one is in the dirt for ball 2. 2-0.
Well, if he's going to pull it, he's got to get something actually in the zone. Looking middle in, belt high.
But look how right field is towards the right foul pole. That one misses for a ball, 3-0. I mean, that is a sweet gap.
Oh, yeah.
As the catcher is going to talk to Beaver. And that is a sweet gap in right center field. I'm going to pull it anywhere there. That would sure at least be a double. That one is in there for a ball, 3-1.
So 3-1, and you got to respect the PA guys for doing the Freddie Mercury call out.
That's funny. I never heard that before. That one pulled fouled. So 3-2, full count to JRC. 1 out here in the top of the 8th. And the windup in the pitch. And that was in there for a strike. And JRC is sat down on strike, so make that 2 gone here, the top of the 8th, and that will bring up Branston Lindquist.
At this point, I'm lost for analysis. You know, how many called strike threes has that been? At least 5. And way too many people leaving the bat on their shoulders with 2 strikes.
That one is fouled on the right side. And yeah, I didn't want to say it, but it's been a lot of backwards Ks, and you usually don't see that from the Tarp Skunks. So 0-1 outside for a ball, 1-1.
Well, the nice thing is no matter what happens here tonight,
as that one is hit deep out to right, foul.
That one was just fouled by maybe a foot, if that.
Again, he's going to want to push it into that spot.
But whatever happens tonight, you know, thankfully quickly turn around, get back on the field tomorrow in Geneva.
It's also not going to knock them out of first place in the division.
No, still a bit of a comfortable lead, but you don't really want to look at that at this point.
And a swing and a miss by Lindquist, and that one, Beaver strikes out the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is still 8-6.
As we're back here in Batavia, the Muckdogs with a 10-6 lead over the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. It'll be the bottom of the order. Quintaro, and then the top of the order, and Jalen David. Joe Man Santos back on the mound for another inning of work, and here to tell you all about it is Jalen Ferguson.
Yeah, speaking of Jalen's, I get another inning of work. Isn't that ironic?
Don't you think?
Jalen David and Jalen Ferguson is here in the funnest place and the best seats in the house.
It's the bottom of the 8th inning, leading off for your Muckdogs. First baseman number 16, James Quintero.
Here comes James Quintero. Santos. Let's give it another inning of work. This will be his second inning.
Right.
He's appeared in three.
Quintaro 1 for 2 on the day.
So the 0-0. And good frame by Delanto, as that one is in there for a strike. 0-1.
Tarp Skunks are going to have a tall order ahead of them in the 9th inning if they want to get back into this one.
So 0-1. Swing and a miss by Quintaro. So now it's 0-2 the count.
They'll send Dumas, Kiefer, and Moore up in the 9th inning, and not sure if we're going to see Beaver out for another inning of work.
We might probably. And that one is hit to Weeks. Throws on to JRC, and it's in time. And quickly one away, and that one will bring up Braden I.
Number 17, extra hitter, Braden I.
So that is good.
Officially 0 for 2 on the day. He has walked and reached on a fielder's choice, scored a couple of runs.
That's good. A quick first out in this inning.
That's what Santos needs to do. You can't afford to go too long here in the bottom of the 8th inning, because the longer he goes, the more this game potentially gets out of reach.
So 1-0 the count. Santos misses for ball 2, 2-0. That was a good miss. But 2-0 to Braden I. That one is hit, fouled just in front of JRC. The 2-1 the count. You know, one thing Prince is going to have to capitalize on is these foul balls to get them even in the count. So 2-1. That one in the dirt for a ball, 3-1.
Jalen David on deck. Santos would like to face him with 2 out here.
That one not in there.
Oh.
Man, that was as close as it gets. But unfortunately, it is ball 4. And that brings us back to the top of the lineup, Jalen David.
Shortstop number 50, Jalen David.
So Jalen David with Braden I at first. Santos giving him a look, actually giving him a stare down. Throws on to the plate. That one misses for a ball.
David 2 for 3 on the day, has a couple of runs scored. Dangerous right-handed hitter speedster. Slap the ball on the ground and try to beat it out.
So 1-0. Outside for a ball. 2-0. And Braden I taking a modest lead at first. That one is outside for a ball. 3-0. The count to Jalen David. As Jeremy Ramos on deck. So 3-0. That one is in there for a strike. They got to have it. 3-1. Again, you got to have it.
Like to see a couple of more of those.
Had the bat on his shoulders. So that one is hit out to center field. Coming in is Grant Moore, and he makes the catch for the out. So now there is 2 gone for the Tarp Skunks, and that will bring in Jeremy Ramos.
Ramos has had a great day today, 2 for 3.
Fielder number 31, Jeremy Ramos.
Couple of RBIs, so
And you know, it's this part of the lineup that has given the Tarp Skunks problems on defense.
lefty on lefty.
That one misses for a ball, 1-0. So 1-on. It's a swing and a miss by Ramos. So now it's 1-1. So 1-1 the count. And that one was inside for a ball. 2-1.
Breaking ball that slipped out of his hands a little bit came inside. See if Santos can straighten it back out here.
He's going to need to fight his way back into this one. All you need is 1 out. And a swing and a miss by Ramos. So now the count is even at 2-2. Jackson Inman on deck. And the pitch. And that was a good miss. Oh, no, he got it. So strike 3 on the call, and that'll end the inning. So with 1 left on, no hits. We go to the top of the 9th. Last chance for the Tarp Skunks. It is 10-6.
settle down. Getting a little silly. As we go to the top of the 9th inning, Garrett Beaver back out on the mound. He's in his 3rd inning of work, looking for that 3-inning save. And he's going to face Dumas, Kiefer, and the top of the order. If you remember last Wednesday, Tarp Skunks needed 1 in the bottom, in the top of the 9th inning to send it to extras. And now they need 4.
I mean, we've seen them put up multiple runs in 1 inning, but unfortunately, all of their runs today have been in the 6th inning.
So Matthew Dumas standing in. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1.
You know, he kind of swung at that one. That one was inside. He would have got jammed up if he made contact.
Dumas 3 for 3 on the day. That one popped up. Shortstop side. David underneath it makes the catch. And there's 1 away.
You know, he just got under that one, popping it up into the infield. And I guess this is it for Beaver, as we're going to get a new pitcher here.
Well, that is an interesting time to have a pitching change, but hey, whatever works for you, have at it. Tito Kiefer will be the batter with 1 out, top of the 9th inning. We'll be back in Batavia in just a moment. New Muckdog pitcher is Eric Woodley. He was the pitcher the Tarp Skunks were able to touch for a run to tie the game last Wednesday before hitting him up for a run in the 10th inning and in the extra inning 7-6 win. And perhaps a little poetic that he's here on the mound. We'll see if the Tarp Skunks take notice and can touch him up for 4. 1 down here, top of the 9th inning, as Tito Kiefer stands in. You know, if I was putting out my most valuable stinker today, it's between Eric Weeks or Matthew Dumas. First pitch taken down for a ball, 1-0. What do you got?
Most valuable stinker. I gotta say, yeah, I have to agree with you, but it's kind of hard. I mean, it was all around performance in the 6th inning. Everyone doing their job, trying to get everybody across.
So now 1-1.
I guess I would say Dumas.
That one taken on the outside corner for a strike. 1-2. Yeah, well, you take Dumas, I'll take Weeks. We'll call it a day as Woodley crouching down on that mound, staring in. 1-2. There's a line drive into right field. That is a 1-out single for Tito Kiefer.
And good job by Kiefer being able to round it and get there. He was on his horse getting the first.
Center field number 2, Grant Moore.
As Grant Moore stands in now. Moore standing in. One out here. Kiefer dancing off first. And the first pitch taken on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. This is not the time where you want to be watching pitches over the plate. You've got to be swinging the bat.
Yeah. At this point, you're gonna have to protect here with 0-0.
Pitch taken on the outside, 1-1. Ten, 14-0 for Batavia. 6-12-3 for the Tarp Skunks.
Yep.
Ground ball up the middle. That could be 2 to second for 1. On to first is misplayed. The ball gets behind. He's heading to second. The throw in is in time, and the ball game is over. The Batavia Muckdogs defeat the Jamestown Tarp Skunks by a final score of 10-6. And the Tarp Skunks will be back in action tomorrow on the road in Geneva, 6:30 on the Geneva Red Wings YouTube page. Back on Saturday for the Niagara Ironbacks, 6:30 at Dietrich Park. For Jalen Ferguson, I'm Dre Guinness, thanking you for joining us here tonight. And until next time, good night, everybody.